Doubles and Coffee, how PNM is allowed to transform wrong into right. Crime situation gets worse every time PNM in power. 91 to 95 increase in murders up to above 200. Pandey comes in between 95 to 2001, and by 2000 he gets it down to 66. Manning and PNM come back in and get it up to, by 2008, 550 murders from 66 under UNC and Bastille Pandey. Kamla comes in 2010 to 2015 and gets it down to 375, 400. Rowley comes in, and Rowley is the worst of the PNM and takes it up under different disparate ministers of national security, including his small pin up in the K-Pac's favorite minister, minister of everything. 519 murders in 2018-2019. Then 539 murders, and then Fitzgerald Ethelbert ride a horse with a little boy and jockey back on the little boy same time, up to 614, and then come to 575. That is PNM. But Rowley says, when he's leader of the opposition, if the government cannot solve crime and they blame the opposition, then the government is the problem and the government is at fault. But then the media, Trinidad and Tobago, civic society groups, all of you, NGOs, professionals, retired judges, retired permanent secretaries, people, retired army officers, you allow Rowley, when he oversees the worst crime scourge in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, to blame somebody else, to escape, to create some false narrative about crime talks and the opposition need to work. Rowley is the only leader of the opposition on record at a press conference held in the leader of the opposition office of the PNM. Keith Rowley said that he has taken a position and a policy to isolate the government, to not help them with anything until they are out. Now he comes to blame the opposition, who in a Westminster system has no power to do anything. But you all allow him to do that. Rowley has overseen the decimation of all the tenets and the policies that would limit the need or the desire to do crime. Rowley came in 2015, 2016 and cut everything in education, closed down NESC centers, cut funding to UTT, COSTAT, MILAT, CDAP, CPEP, all kind of programs that alleviate poverty. He cut school feeding. He cut funding to sport from 140 million in the NPI vote down to 10 million. He cut football funding so much that the TT Pro League collapsed, and now the Pro League trying to rebuild and rekindle the spark. He cut funding to cut PAN in schools, cut culture, cut guidance counselors, cut social workers, cut every single thing. Then increase taxes, cut fuel subsidy, make life harder, lost jobs, close down Petrotrin, foreign exchange crisis. All of these decisions create a petri dish for crime, an incubator for crime. And Rowley gets off the hook because you all and the media and all of you and the chambers of industry and commerce and Transparency International, because their leader gone and he's a PNM High Commissioner in Jamaica now, they quiet, they silent, nobody says anything. Rowley is the Franco made worse. This is not me making it up. Look at the statistics, everything. Rowley collapsed the Police Service Commission, chooses, handpick his own 2 commissioners of police, and crime spirals out of control. Bandits running free, bandits making video and gallerying with all the big weapons, the submachine guns and so on, attacking people in their house with impunity. And yet Rowley gets a free pass. Where the headlines, where the front pages, where the call for Rowley to go. Even Selwyn Kujo, the man who support and prompt and hold up the PNM, regardless of his illogical position, because he's a man who fight for black people, and PNM are deleterious to black people. They had a black revolution in 1970 against the PNM. PNM banned Stokely Carmichael. Every time PNM in power, black people suffer. Answer the question for all you who like race. What Kamla take away from all you? What did Kamla take away from African people when she was Prime Minister? A waiting, a listening. Because Kamla increased gate, opened the gate, increased it to tech work with Fazal Karim, build NESC and MIC centers. THTTI was open, keep the fuel subsidy, increase school feeding with Tim Gopi saying build 106 schools, increase sport funding, culture, pan in school, football funding, anything and everything, school feeding, food card, increase the social net, baby milk, grandchildren's life fund. What Kamla Prasad Bisesa do to black people that PNM have always thinking? All the separation under PNM, all the youth, the young black children who are killing each other, all the failures in education where black African children used to be the scholars in the 50s, 60s and 70s, and now we sucking the bottom of the barrel. What Kamla do? It's not Kamla, it's the PNM. And this is when you turn wrong right, because you're afraid to say it, you're afraid to talk the truth. How come all the constituencies that vote solidly PNM, even though they kick Tutu Water and Fitzgerald at Talbot Hines, he still get 10,000 votes because there's a balize that they see in the voter booth? How come all those constituencies are the highest crime rate, the lowest education rate, the highest failure rate, the highest unemployment rate, the most violence in all of those PNM constituencies? That's just fluke? No, it's because in Trinidad and Tobago, all they does let PNM turn wrong into right. This is part 5. Still have 5 more to come. Bless.